Hey everybody, welcome to A Pop of Culture. I'm your host, the Esoteric and Facetious, and this is A Pop of Culture, which is my video essay podcast where I speak on pop culture, social justice, and human experience from a Black, bisexual, millennial, Gen Z perspective. And in today's video, I want to talk about Tasha K and the ethics of tabloid journalism. So I wanted to talk about Tasha K and her type of content, the type of content she makes, because a few weeks ago I got COVID. I am fine, I'm a-okay, but when I had COVID, I was in quarantine. I wasn't really able to interact with people a lot. I was stuck in a space where I just had to keep myself entertained while I dealt with the sickness, basically. So I had to find ways to keep myself entertained. If you follow my channel, you know that I was covering the SWV Escape Queens of R&B show because I'm an aspiring R&B singer and artist. I'm somebody who, I'm in voice lessons, I'm working on my own music. I'm definitely going to be posting covers onto my cover channel in the future and throughout social media, so stay tuned for that. But as someone who is an aspiring R&B artist, I was very pulled into the SWV Escape show because it was nice to see these established artists coming together to collaborate on a show. So since I was really into the show, I was really into the drama surrounding the show. So one of the situations that came up with the show was the tea that was being spilled that allegedly LaTasha Scott's husband, 𝑭𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘 �'𝑉, was stepping out on her. And normally, I probably wouldn't have been as caught up in that situation just because I'm more into the music and, you know, seeing how the behind the scenes of the music. But because I was in quarantine and in dire need of entertainment, I saw that Tasha K had dropped an interview with the mistress. So I decided, you know what? I am bored out of my mind. I've been looking at these four walls for way too darn long. So why not look at this interview and see what it's giving? So I watched the interview. And I actually found the interview pretty interesting, but one of the things that stuck with me during the interview was Tasha K said to the mistress, all the girls, they come to me, all the baby mamas, all the mistresses who've had kids by these men, who've gotten pregnant by these men. And keep in mind, the men that she's talking about, Tasha K is an urban blogger, so she talks about Black men and Black women and Black people in general. So when she said all of these women come to me, all of these baby mamas, all of these mistresses who've gotten pregnant by these men, she's talking about mistresses that are coming forward about being intimate with men, Black men who are stepping outside of their marriages. And they come to Tasha K. They come to her, they come to Tasha K to spill the tea. They come to her to get their 15 seconds of fame, to get their clout off of these incidents. And that stuck with me because I just remembered during her interview with 𝑭𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, she says that she's the Black Barbara Walters.
None of it true, and if it is true, then I don't mind standing on what I've done. If you put me on Barbara Walters and me, you, and Tasha sat there, and y'all asked me a question, put a
but I'm the new Black Barbara Walters, so we don't need Barbara Walters. She dead. It's Tasha now. It's Tasha K.
So for me, the thing that stuck with me is Tasha K. She proudly exclaims how these mistresses, these baby mamas, these disgruntled women, they come to her to spill their tea and get their 15 seconds of fame, but she also feels that she's this Black Barbara Walters, she's this distinguished journalist. And for me, I just remember feeling this weird energy because I felt like, how can you say that you are this Black Barbara Walters, like you're this distinguished journalist who is known for having integrity and who is, you know, bringing the community forward, bringing the community together, but these mistresses, these women who proudly talk about being with married men, getting pregnant by married men. It's like, how can you have this pride in, oh, I'm the Black Barbara Walters, I'm like this great journalist, when you're basically somebody who platforms some of the most bottom, lowest denominator people. Tasha K calling herself the Black Barbara Walters bothered me a lot because it was just like, have we forgotten that you owe Cardi B $4 million for lying on her? So it's just like, for me, first and foremost, I was bothered by her saying that she was the Black Barbara Walters because I felt you shouldn't be calling yourself the Black Barbara Walters when you're somebody who, women who break up marriages, they run to you to get their 15 seconds of fame, because it's just like, I feel like that's ratchet content, that's low value, low vibrational content. So it's just like, for you to sit here and call yourself the Black Barbara Walters, when not only argue doing low vibrational, lowest common denominator content, ratchet content, not only are you doing ratchet content, but you've also lied on a woman where you have to pay this woman $4 million. So it's just like, for me with Tasha K, I was just kind of bothered by her simultaneously wanting to say that she's the Black Barbara Walters while doing this ratchet content. So let's get into the idea of ratchet content. So in my opinion, it is ratchet content to be somebody who is a Black person who makes content that is primarily negative about Black American people or about Black people in general. So here's my struggle with it. I will say I'm of the opinion if there is drama or mess or ratchet stuff going on with Black public figures, somebody's going to report on it. So I'd rather be Tasha K or a Black person, somebody who's a member of the community speaking on the drama, rather than a TMZ that's not Black owned, where the money that's generated by TMZ is not necessarily going back in the Black community. So I am somebody who can be pragmatic and who can say I'd rather be Tasha K, a Black person, than a white person or a white company benefiting from this Black drama. But one of the struggles I have with Tasha K is, like I said, she's somebody who calls herself the Black Barbara Walters. And while obviously Barbara Walters, may she rest in peace, is not beyond reproach, she built up a very respected career because of her professionalism, because of the way she conducted her interviews, the way she conducted herself. So it's like, first off, Tasha K, how dare you sit here and put your name in the same sentence as Barbara Walters when you're somebody who is known, like I said, for this lower vibrational ratchet content. Because here's my thing about it. I don't have an issue with somebody being somebody who talks about ratchet stuff that's going on in the culture, because like I said, it's a topic that people want to hear about. People want to hear about the mistresses. People want to hear about the drama. Obviously, when I was in quarantine, I was curious enough about it to watch her video and subscribe to her website. But I guess my thing about it is, I'm somebody where I'm like, if you're going to make ratchet content, when I say ratchet content, I mean content that doesn't necessarily affirm or uplift the community or portray the community in its best light. So talking about Black men stepping out on their wives, talking about Black men having children outside of their marriage, that's not necessarily the most uplifting content. It's not something that necessarily is going to improve the overall perception of the community. I find that to be ratchet, like low value, low vibrational content. And like I said, there's an audience for that, so it's fine if you want to make that type of content, but I'm somebody where I'm like, if you're going to make that content, stand in that. But my issue with Tasha K is she'll do that ratchet, low vibrational content, but then she'll want to sit here and act like she's this humanitarian, like she's just this person who's for the people. And here's my thing. I don't think that Tasha K is not for the Black community because she's calling Black men out who step out on their wives. But I guess my issue with Tasha K is more so, it doesn't necessarily seem like she's calling these Black men out because she's trying to hold them accountable and she's trying to, you know, strengthen the reputation of the community by holding these bad apples out. Because my thing about it is, you'll see with Tasha K, she doesn't necessarily care about the women who she's hurting. For example, with the Derrick Jackson situation, anybody who paid attention to that saw that Derrick Jackson's wife, Dania Jackson, was going through it. She was just going on live sounding like she was not in her right mind.
This is a spiritual warfare, and if you are not prepared and you do not know what to do, you will drown and you will be a casualty in this war. I did not come here to play games and to play dress up. I came here in my battle suit. I came here on the battleground covered in the blood of Jesus. I received the anointing of the warrior, and I spilled the blood of the enemy. You see a bonnet, I see the helmet of salvation. You see an army green shirt, I see the breastplate of righteousness.
She was clearly going through it, but Tasha K, did she sit here and say, hey, woman to woman, can we have a conversation about this? Like, I got some information about the fact that your man may be stepping out on you. Did she sit here and try to talk with Dania Jackson in private and try to console her? Did she try to console LaTasha Scott before she tried to spill her tea about allegedly this man having a baby outside of their marriage? So I guess that's my struggle with Tasha K. I feel like with Tasha K, there's nothing wrong with being a tabloid journalist who talks about drama and negative things going on in the community. But like I said, I'm the type where I'm like, if you're going to do that type of content, own that. Own that you are somebody who does the lower vibrational ratchet type of content. But my issue with Tasha K is she wants to uphold herself as this Black Barbara Walters. And my thing about it is, I'm not somebody who's a fan of a lot of like that trash TV, for example, stuff like Maury Povich or...
In the case of 10-month-old royalty, Daryl, you are not...
Jerry Springer.
I'm coming clean to my girl today. I just want to let you know this is no more texting, no more nothing. I don't want to have nothing to do with you, period. At all. At all.
But what I want to let you know is, I'm a man.
especially the who is the daddy type of content. Maury was a popular show in the 2000s that featured a lot of low-income people, especially Black people, where the mother would come on the show and she would have one of the fathers, or maybe, you know, more of the fathers. I believe most of the time it was one person that she thought was a father. And they figure out, is this man the father of the child? I feel that show perpetuated the idea that people, especially lower income Black people, and also people of other races, but mainly minority people, they cannot have children with people they actually care about, that they can't keep track of how many people they're having sex with. They're just having kids by this many people and nobody's got any control. I feel shows like Maury Povich and Jerry Springer portrayed a lot of lower income minority people in their worst light. But here's my thing about it. Maury Povich and Jerry Springer never claimed themselves to be these humanitarians. They never claimed themselves to be these kind-hearted people who are trying to show the best of different communities. They were people who made trashy entertainment for a certain type of audience. So either you got with it or you didn't, but they never tried to make themselves out to be these grand, kind, wonderful people who are doing this to improve the culture. But my issue with people like Tasha K is, Tasha K, like I said, she tries to call herself the Black Barbara Walters while she's just mainly highlighting negative things going on in the community. And like I said, she doesn't care about the women or the people surrounding the situation who get hurt. She cares about getting that check. She cares about getting those views. She didn't care about Cardi B and her mental health when she lied on her for years, but she wants to call herself the Black Barbara Walters. And one of the things I really wanted to get into in my discussion of Tasha K was this statement I saw her make after the Cardi B decision, the Cardi B case was settled, and it was determined that she was going to pay $4 million to Cardi B. She made this long-winded statement about how she's just this Black woman, she's this mother and this wife, and she's just trying to stand up for the community, uplift the community through her content.
We called bluff against a machine that wanted to bully me for not wavering from my personal belief. A machine that has corporate interests to protect prostitution, drug use, promiscuity, and to glorify the violence that wreaks havoc on our society and in our neighborhoods. And to glorify it's sold to our children as the it factor. This machine, this thing, secured an extremely prejudicial verdict against myself and my company solely off of sympathy and payola. Asking me to redact the real reason as to why I was reporting on the issues at hand, and succeeded in making me out to be an angry and malicious woman. This is a real business. I am a wife of 17 years, a mother to a beautiful 15-year-old girl who's an honor student, and a 2-year-old son. My platform creates news and sheds light on the issues going on in our society.
And it's like, you lied on another woman. You lied on another woman who's also a wife and a mother. You lied on her and you said whatever you wanted to about her, like you weren't going to have any consequences for it. So it's just like, me, I don't really like Tasha K for the fact that she tries to call herself this Black Barbara Walters, and she tries to act like she's uplifting the community when she's really just making content that I feel is very low vibrational, lowest common denominator. So I just wanted to share that because I'm somebody who is a content creator, and I am someone who loves pop culture, and I love talking about different things going on in the Black community. But one of the struggles I have is I see certain content creators, especially bloggers, they'll want to pat themselves on the back by saying, I'm uplifting the culture, I'm the Black Barbara Walters, and I'm doing all this, that, and the third. And it's like, are you really uplifting the community by making videos exposing people stepping out on their marriages, having children outside of their marriages? And like I said, that's content that people want to see. There's a demand, so I'm not mad at her meeting the demand and making that content. But my issue with Tasha is, don't call yourself the Black Barbara Walters. Don't sit and act like you're for the people when you're for the check. It would be different if Tasha K was somebody who covered Black people who are in healthy, happy relationships just as much as she was covering the mistresses. But it just feels like she's all about the drama. She's all about exploiting those situations. Like I said, did she sit here and try to speak with LaTasha Scott before she spilled the tea on that? Did she sit here and try to speak with Dania Jackson? Because even with the Derrick Jackson situation, it came out that one of the people that was an alleged mistress was somebody who was lying to her. So it's just like with Tasha K, it's like she wants to get all of this credit for being a Black Barbara Walters, but it seems she's not actually trying to have that journalistic integrity. She's just here for the low vibrational content that she knows is going to get clicks. And I guess with Tasha K in this conversation about tabloid journalism, because she's not the only one, we do have to ask the question, chicken or egg? Why is it that there's so many people who want to hear about the mistresses and the drama, why is there such a demand for this content? And is there a demand for positive content that portrays us in a more positive light? And I'm not saying that all content about Black people or Black public figures has to be positive or uplifting, because if somebody's cheating on their spouse, that's not positive and that can be covered. It does bother me when content creators, they focus so much on the mistresses and on the cheating and things of that sort, because it just feels like, why can't you put more energy towards showing the good of the community? Don't we have enough representation of the ratchet, the cheating, the negativity from white media? Who makes your own content? Who decides the stories you tell? Why don't you take the initiative to show the more positive sides of the community? I just wanted to speak on that because I've just seen a lot of people like Tasha who will claim they're for the culture and they're for the community, but they don't make a lot of content that's uplifting to the community. And like I said, I do wonder, why is it so many people in our community, we want the mess, we live for the drama, we live for the tea, but we don't want to see a Black couple that's happily married where nobody stepped out on each other. Or just, you know, people out here who are entrepreneurs hustling and doing their thing. I get that conflict is entertaining, but it's just like, I feel like we can't fully put all the blame on Tasha, because clearly there's people who want to see that type of content. I'm not saying you're bad if you want to see some drama, because I watch some drama-based content, but it's just like the glee when she said, all the girls come to me, all the mistresses come to me, all the mistresses who got pregnant. It's just like, I question, it's like, why is Tasha, and I'm like, let's go there. I'm like, why is Tasha okay kikiing with all of these mistresses as a married woman? Because it's like, you would think as a wife and as a mother, she wouldn't want anything to do with these people. But it's like she's kikiing and getting all up in there, like, oh, how big was it? Like, oh, you like, how many times did you do it? Where did you do it? And it's like, as a wife and a mother, you would think that you wouldn't want to be 10 feet from this woman. But the glee, the joy, like, oh my God, did he buy you a hotel? Did he buy you a house? Like, what did he do? What did he do? It's just something about that energy is off. I just want to speak on that. And I just want to say, I do give Tasha K credit for building the successful platform she did. Even though I'm critical of the stuff she said about Cardi B, I'm critical of the lies that she shared about various public figures, I do have to give her credit with, like, when you look at her content, when you look at the cameras, when you look at the presentation, when you look at it, like, she's clearly someone who's very motivated, and as a content creator and aspiring artist, I do see the work and hustle that she's put behind her brand, so there's no hate on that. But it's just like, I have to give her the side eye, oh, I'm the Black Barbara Walters, but you don't have journalistic integrity, you're doing the lowest common denominator content. And there's also, like I said, a conversation of, if she was posting affirming, uplifting content, would people want to watch it as much? Like, let's be real, would people click on those videos as quickly as the mistress drama? But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this situation. Let me know your thoughts on Tasha K, her calling herself the Black Barbara Walters. Should tabloid content creators be able to pull out this language of them being pro-Black and them being for the culture when they're focusing on the negatives of the culture? Is there a necessity in reporting those not so positive stories to accurately portray the culture as a whole? Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. See y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the points I made in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, definitely like, comment, subscribe, and share. That way, even if YouTube isn't pushing my content, those who resonate with it are sharing it so it can connect with others who would enjoy it. Those are some easy, free ways to support a pop of culture. If you want to support the show financially, feel free to send a tip to my Cash App or buy me a cup of coffee, both are linked below. All who donate will be featured in the credits of my long-form commentary and cover videos. There are 2 playlists that are going to pop up, one where you can binge watch my covers and one where you can binge watch my commentary. Enjoy. Bye-bye.